Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Bo here from Guitars and Games. Welcome into the channel. Welcome in. How are you all doing today? Hopefully y'all are doing well. Thank you for coming in. I do appreciate it. We are going to have another reaction to, this is an interesting one. This is going to be an interesting one. It is a Sleep Token cover by one of my favorite guitarists, Mike Dawes. This is going to be an instrumental, and it's a solo acoustic cover of Sleep Token. I think you will be pleasantly surprised at how good this guy is. I have not heard this song, but Mike Dawes, he's an amazing guitarist. Amazing guitarist. Before we switch to the reaction, I just want to remind you that this video is now powered by Rogue Energy. You can go to rogueenergy.com and get 10% off your order with my code Guitars&Games. Every little bit helps the channel, helps you out because you get a great product. And we can grow and get a little bit more. Maybe I can get my own flavor, my own Guitars and Games flavor. I wonder what we would call that. A high note, something like that. Quarter notes or something. I don't know, something silly like that. But let's go ahead and go and switch to the reaction, and I will see you all in just a second. If you all are not familiar with Mike Dawes, he is an interesting player, and you'll see why. But we're going to go ahead and check out. This is him covering Sleep Token's Euclid. So let's check it out. I think that is a Seagull guitar. That's a very cool guitar. I mean, it's a cool guitar, but I think it's a Seagull. They're a great brand. The acoustics in that room are amazing. I used to, when I was younger, my uncle owned an old theater in the city where I lived, and he and his business partners had restored it. And, he used to let me go and I'd go play on the stage there, just randomly, nobody in there, just by myself. But the acoustics in these old buildings are so amazing. He uses the whole guitar. He uses every part of his body, every available finger, and everything for this to play. And it's some of the coolest stuff. His percussive stuff is amazing while he plays. This is beautiful. The melody lines in this, and beautiful. He is also like one of the things that I love about him is he is just such control over the dynamics of his playing. You know, like he can create this sound, this wall of sound, and it's just him and the guitar. I mean, I know he uses effects, and he uses them masterfully to make it not sound overly processed. You know what I mean? It doesn't sound like there's like, you know, he's got a daisy chain of like 20 something effects going, and you can tell because it sounds kind of processed. It doesn't. His tone is like so natural and acoustic. It's amazing. Like when you hear a lot of acoustic guitars in recordings and lives and stuff like that, excuse me, they have a tendency to have this, I call it the piezo sound, because, you know, the thing about acoustic instruments is if they're amplified in a bigger setting, they have a tendency to feed back and degrade the sound. You know, they have a tendency to just feedback horribly. So what for a long time, I mean, still, they use piezo pickups, which go underneath the bridge of the guitar, underneath the saddle. They go in between the bridge and the saddle. And they're great because they amplify the sound without feedback, but they tend to give it, I mean, I call it the piezo guitars, but it sounds fake. It sounds dry. It sounds tinny, like there's no depth, there's no richness to it, you know? And most of the time it doesn't matter because live acoustic guitars are just used for a rhythm backup, you know, usually not used to be in the forefront. And like the amplification technology has gotten way better. And you can tell, like listening to stuff like listen to Dave Matthews. You know, in his early career, listen to the tone of his acoustics in his early career versus the tone of the acoustics now. And like you can tell it's not him, it's the amplification. And Mike Dawes, his tone is so purely acoustic. It sounds amazing. And it sounds like you're there listening to it live because it sounds got that rich. You hear all his harmonics, all his overtones, all the sound bouncing around and mingling with each other. And then he adds these effects in, but he still keeps that pure acoustic tone, which is, for me, is amazing. That's so beautiful. Just listen to that ring right there at the end. All right, I will see you all in just a second. That's that. That's one of those ones where I like, I watch it and I love it so much, and I like a little part of me is like, yeah, I'm gonna go throw away my guitars now. It's like, oh man. But the way he plays, the beauty, the like, just the tone he has. I just am in love with his tone. It's just like, to me, it's like, it's amazing that he can sound that purely acoustic and have everything amplified and running through signal chains and all these effects going and all these manipulations, but it still sounds like I'm in the room listening to his acoustic guitar. It's that pure of a tone. And it doesn't have that tinny kind of aspect to it. It's a full, rich, full range tone. It's amazing. Amazing. Well, thank you all so much for checking out. If you haven't listened to Mike Dawes before this video, you should go check out some of his stuff. He does some amazing work on guitar. Some amazing stuff. Well, thank you all so much once again for coming and checking out the channel. I do appreciate it. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. All right. Peace and love, people. Peace and love.